So basically when we talk about the virtualization, so virtualization is nothing but it is dividing your hardware logically or creating the logical instances of the hardware. That is nothing but the virtualization. Now to proceed with this virtualization or to achieve a virtualization, we have certain tools, and those tools are called as your hypervisors. So hypervisors, when we talk about, so hypervisors, we have got different types of hypervisors we have. We have got type 1 hypervisors and we have got type 2 hypervisors. So these are the two types of hypervisors which are divided. Now here again, when we talk about type 1 hypervisors, we'll talk about the type 1 hypervisors. These hypervisors are called as the bare metal hypervisors, and type 2 hypervisors when we talk about. So these type 2 hypervisors are also called as OS dependent or the hosted hypervisors. Now, what exactly does this mean? So if I say a bare metal hypervisor, so bare metal hypervisor in the sense the hypervisor or the tool that is being installed directly on the hardware. That means we do not require an operating system to work with these type of hypervisors. And OS dependent hypervisors or the hosted hypervisors, for these type of hypervisors we require an operating system to be available on the machine. So if we take a few examples, so we have VMware Workstation. VMware Workstation we have got from Oracle, we have got Oracle VirtualBox is available. From VMware again we have VM player is available. For Microsoft, if we talk about, we have something called as Microsoft Virtual PC. Okay, so these are the few examples for the type 2 hypervisors. Those are being used. So I hope most of you have worked with VMware Workstation. So you can relate that over here. So talking about your type 1 hypervisors or the bare metal hypervisors. So taking a few examples over here. So again, from VMware, if we talk about, so from VMware we have got VMware ESX, or before ESX we had something called as GSX. Then we have ESX, we have ESXi. Then we have something called as a VMware server. I don't know if you have heard about it or not. So this VMware server, it was stopped in the year 2008. So 2008 was the last release of VMware server. Then apart from this, if we talk about then from Citrix. So from Citrix, if we talk about, we have Citrix Zen servers. Then again from Microsoft, we talk about, from Microsoft we have got Microsoft Hyper-V. So these are the few common tools or the few hypervisors. Those are used in the production environment. Now apart from this, again if I talk about virtualization. Now again the virtualization is divided into different categories. We have got server virtualization, desktop virtualization, application virtualization. We have got storage virtualization. We also have a network virtualization. So these are the few types of the virtualization that it has been divided into. So the tools, those are used for this. So if I talk about a server virtualization, so for the server virtualization from VMware, we have got all these tools, that is your GSX, ESX, and the VMware server. So these are a few tools that we have got from VMware for your server virtualization. Again, in the same part, if I talk about Citrix, then the same thing you have for server virtualized Citrix Zen servers. From Microsoft, you have a Hyper-V. So these are the tools, those are used for your server virtualization. Again, talking about the desktop virtualization. Now see, let it be the server virtualization or desktop or application or any type of virtualization, let it be the first tools those we have. So these tools are common. These tools will be available and we need to have these tools, then only the remaining virtualizations can be performed. For example, if I talk about desktop virtualization. So for desktop virtualization also again we need to have either a hypervisor from VMware or the hypervisor from Citrix, or you can have the hypervisor from Microsoft. So apart from these tools, or in addition to these tools, when we talk about the desktop virtualization, then we have Citrix, and Citrix provides you with Zen Desktop. If I talk about a VMware, then VMware is providing you Horizon View. Again, if I talk about Microsoft, then Microsoft have Medvi. So Medvi is not used nowadays. Medvi was in use when we were working with Windows XP or Windows NT. At that point of time, Microsoft Medvi was in use. So nowadays they're not using Microsoft Medvi anymore. So we talk about application virtualization. Then again, your VMware has provided your Horizon View. With the help of Horizon View, you can deliver the applications also to the end user. Then from Citrix, if I talk about, we have got Zen application. From Microsoft, we have AppV. Now again, apart from this, for the applications, we also have from VMware again, if I talk about, from VMware again provides you something called as AirWatch, and your Citrix is again having another tool called as Citrix or Citrix Zen Mobility. So these are the few tools. Those are available for the virtualization or the different type of virtualization that is being performed. Now, talking about the storage and the network virtualization. So this is an assignment for you. You need to find out the tools. Those are used for storage virtualization as well as the network virtualization. You need to find out these tools. Which are these tools? Who's the vendor of those tools? So all those things you have to find it out. Is it clear till here? Any questions till here? Anyone? Any questions in this?
It's clear.
No.
Okay, fine. Now, coming to the point, so we have discussed now what exactly the virtualization, what is virtualization, what are the tools those are used for virtualization. Now, a small question from my side is that why exactly we need virtualization? Why should we go with virtualization? Or in other terms, if I ask, what is the advantage of virtualization?
That would be cost saving.
Okay, good. So the one thing is cost effective.
And getting more out of very less resource, or
In
very
another term, you can say it
yeah,
as
very little resource.
resource utilization.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, one more is power consumption.
Power consumption, yes, very good. Then, so again, a lot of things are counted. If we talk about it is very cost effective. Resource utilization is better. Less manpower is required to manage the resources. Yeah, so